Hi everyone, I'm Gabriel by the Phone Angel. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking about making this channel called the Phone Angel, and it's being hosted by Gabriel. Get it? Yeah, it's a good on joke. So, today is a brand new series called Thursday Tech News, and this is Thursday Tech News, and you're watching it on Disney Channel. I'm just kidding. But, yes, this is a brand new series where I introduce you guys all about the mobile technology, about what's going on, like what's going on in the mobile technology world. Hey, maybe you'll learn a thing or two about Androids and iPhones, and how Samsung is actually different than Android. People figure that out. All right. So, let us begin with the biggest shocker out of it all. Whoa, it's the new iPhone. It's the new iPhone SE. That's right. So, iPhone decided to come back. The iPhone SE came back. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that more specifically. But Apple, yes, decided to revamp the iPhone SE. And it's actually at a really good time. It came out last week. It's a week-old now. So yeah, that's crazy cool. Additionally, there's also the OnePlus 8. Now, why on earth am I bringing up OnePlus? And you also might be wondering, who the heck is OnePlus? OnePlus was a private brand, like in the early 2014s or something. Haha, that's not a good date. But yeah, basically, this brand was really well known for being a flagship killer sort of brand. Except as of till recently, well, because as of recently, they made a flagship phone, even though they're like, oh yeah, we're totally not going to do that. Haha. But then they did, so that was dumb. So yeah, the OnePlus 8 sounds like a pretty dumb idea. Like, what the heck? Like, why on earth would they have that? So, yeah. The phone is costing around, well, $1,000. Well, it's just $900. It's not $1,000, but technically speaking, that's $1,000 because then you have to add in the case, and then the wireless charging, and then the earbuds. Dude, I'm just saying, it's $1,000. And then even the standard OnePlus 8 is at like $700. Yikes, that's a lot of money to pay for. So the iPhone SE costing an absurd $400. Dude, it checks all the boxes and will totally go up against the iPhone 8. And it's really interesting because, again, OnePlus used to be known for being the flagship killer. Now, all of a sudden, iPhone SE is now the flagship killer for a OnePlus phone. Wow. Wow. Talk about a callback. Talk about irony right there. So, then we have the cool brand Motorola. They made a bunch of budget phones. They practically introduced the G line series. But they then introduced this brand new phone called the Motorola Edge Plus and the Motorola Edge. This is finally Motorola's first time that they're actually coming back to the flagship market. And guess what their whole thing is? Ooh, really cool Edge displays that are almost at 90 degrees. I mean, that's cool. Not really, though. No one exactly cares. But at least the hole punch is small. And they also have an idea of blackening out the curved edges, even though that's absolutely dumb. But yeah. But Motorola's going to go with that, and they're just going to be like, haha, we're so cool, check out our flagship phone, and people are probably going to recommend it anyway. So then, we also got the ZTE Nubia Red Magic 3. What the heck is up with this? Why do I need to talk about it? Well, the ZTE Nubia Red Magic 3, these names are going to get harder to pronounce as this video goes on. But basically, this phone is a really cool gamer's phone because of its 140 hertz refresh rate. So if you don't know what that means that the screen is constantly refreshing at, well, 144 hertz, 144 times per second, so that the animations look silky, crispy, smooth. I didn't actually realize that, phones go up to 120 hertz, and I was like, that's all cool. What's so cool about 144? Turns out 144 is bigger. Haha, I shouldn't have used that math better. So then, the Galaxy A series. Now, this phone, the Galaxy A series, that whole thing came out last year. The Galaxy A51, the Galaxy A71. But now it's officially over to the US shores. Okay, they've been announced for the US shores, but it's going to take a little while. But it's okay. They already have phones like the Galaxy A21, officially unveiled, with USB Type-C, a 750p display, but at least it's at AMOLED, and it also has a better processor on board and 4 cameras. The A20 wasn't such a bad device, and I don't think that the A21 will be that bad either. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Then there's the A11, which is like a dumber down version of the A21 because it has micro USB. This is 2020, Samsung. You better not do that again. But yeah, they also have like a triple lens camera, a hole punch display, and that's all good. And then the AO one, which has a water droplet display, and then a dual lens camera on the back. Actually, I think it's a singular lens camera, or it's what I forgot. But basically, yeah, it's a budget phone. It's fine. It has micro USB, but a nice thing is also there's the Galaxy A51 5G and the Galaxy A71 5G. This is Samsung's approach to saying, hey, want, budget 5G devices? We got you covered, fam. And really, it's been quite interesting because of Huawei, Xiaomi, and also ZTE. Those Chinese brands have all of a sudden been creating a lot of 5G phones. So it's really cool to see that Samsung's hopping on that trend as well. Next up is Nokia, which is a brand that has no time to die. And if you didn't notice that little subtle reference, which you totally should have, No Time to Die is the next 007 installment of James Bond, where who knows if he is going to die. The name really doesn't say anything. But yeah, this phone, the phone called the Nokia 8.3 5G and the Nokia 5.3, I think also the Nokia 1.3, all three of those phones, actually two, are most likely and are going to be used in the newest James Bond film. But let's actually take a look at those phones. The Nokia 8.3 5G has a hole punch display, and it also has 5G capabilities and a quad lens camera and a 64 megapixel standard unit. Yeah, that's pretty great. And the Nokia 5.3 is actually really great because at long last Nokia decided to revamp its Nokia 5 series. It's actually been like around 3 years since they've made an official, sequel. So it's really great to see that they did that. Then there's the Nokia 1.3, which they upgrade every year, but still doesn't have USB Type-C. What's wrong with you companies? Y'all should come up with USB Type-C. But we also have the Nokia 5310, which back in 2007 is the Nokia 5310 Express Music. Like its brother of past, it has all the great music capabilities, even though it doesn't have Express Music. What the heck? And also, why do we need to bring back Nokia nostalgic phones? Like, who the heck needs it? Like, nostalgia, let it die. Come on, guys. I'm just kidding. Without the great nostalgia, we wouldn't have the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Like, I get that movie was kind of cheesy and stuff, but it was pretty okay. And then we also have Star Wars as well that exists here. And a bunch of really great stuff. Like, The Dark Crystal now has its series on Netflix. You understand what I'm talking about here. Without nostalgia, there wouldn't be these great remakes. So, yeah, don't let nostalgia die. Sorry, I just wanted to talk about those movies because I liked most of them. Anyway, I didn't see The Dark Crystal. Moving on. There's also, side note, there's also the Huawei P40 series. But why should you care about it? You shouldn't, because this phone will not ever be hitting US shelves. So therefore, if I were on Deal or No Deal, the show, and Huawei came in saying, hey, we'll pay you to review our phones, I'd be like, haha, no deal. And I'd just drop the mic right there. So, yeah, but basically, though, Huawei is pretty cool because they're like, yo, we got a really cool phones, and now they're dominating all in the cameras. Although, I do think that Xiaomi or probably Huawei just decided to top themselves off, so yeah, at least in camera scores. It's the Huawei P40, P40 Pro, and the P40 Pro Plus. They're all good, but they also have curved edge displays. This needs to die. Samsung gets rid of it, and then everyone else comes back with it. So, then there's a new iPad series, which literally came out of nowhere, because I was like literally sitting around doing nothing, and then all of a sudden, they're like, boom, bam, new iPad. What the heck? Like, Apple just being like, boom, bam, new iPhone. It's crazy. So, the new iPad of 2020 is, of course, like the iPads in 2018. They have the 11-inch and the 12.9-inch ones. They're huge. But they also have those slim bezels, so they're huge, but they're not too big, I think. I don't know. Actually, I'd say they're fine. The 11-inch is pretty good. 12.9-inch, that's just way too much screen. Why do you need that? But the thing is, though, is what they've added is that they've added, like, technically 3 cameras. Actually, they added in an additional camera and a sensor. What that secondary camera is there for is a wide angle, because who needs a telephoto? And the last one is a sensor called an LiDAR sensor. Basically, this is used for AR, as its advertising suggests, and it's really good. But I mean, we're not doing a lot of stuff with AR currently, so Apple, get down to business and do some more AR stuff. and maybe contact some game companies. I'd like to play some games in AR. Anyway, moving on. So then we have the Oppo Find X2. What the heck? What's up with this? Why do we need to know about it? Well, Oppo's Find X2 sparked a lot of buzz because it's the Find series. A little bit of information. Back in 2017, Oppo had this brand called the Find series. They were really well known for just pushing the boundaries. They made a phone that had a camera that would go from the back end and then rotate it to the front so that it's the selfie camera. It's also the back camera. It's really cool. But what they decided to do then is that they introduced the Oppo Find X. And basically what this was is that they made the camera pop out. And the phone was full screen. It was really insane. So it was kind of disappointing to see that they didn't go back to it again. But it's like, well, why would you go on unreliable hardware that could just potentially rust and decay? So they instead went with a whole bunch of display and curved edges. And they've also added in a 64 megapixels camera unit. Basically stuff to challenge with the Galaxy S20 and stuff. So who cares? By the way, Samsung made their Galaxy S20 series. Yippee skippy yoia. Moving on, the LG V60 Thin Q was also announced. Now this smartphone is actually pretty okay. It doesn't do a lot of stuff like a cool 90Hz refresh rate or anything crazy. It's just like a good, standard, good phone. It has IP68 water and dust resistance. It's got a headphone jack. I mean, you're pretty much sold if it has that. It also has top-graded specs, a pretty good display. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. And then it also has 4 cameras that also serve pretty well. So LG made a good phone this year instead of going extreme and crazy. I'm just kidding. They kind of did. They made this other smartphone called the LG Velvet. Now, it hasn't been officially announced, like shown off to the public or anything, but its design has by LG in Korea. Don't know what's up with that. But yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with what they're doing here because, like, I've kind of explained to them a few years ago on another channel where I was like, yo, you guys could have made a really good smartphone if only you did some good stuff. Like, you made it more reliable and good. And, you know, like they had a more reliable battery. They had less battery drain issues. I mean, that's one thing. But if also they just went with kind of the standard flow of, you know, flagship stuff, then they wouldn't be so bad. So, yeah. And then Sony, the same company that makes amazing cameras and, you know, PlayStations, you'd expect them to hit the phone market. Well, absolutely not. Like, I know Samsung can do it well, but not Sony. I mean, have you seen their movies? Oh yeah, take that, Sony. But their Sony Xperia lineup has been the best in years, especially their recent ones. They have the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II and the Sony Xperia 10 Mark II. Why are these so impressive? Well, for a few reasons. Now, I've been kind of paying attention to Sony Xperia phones, and I've had a liking for them. And what they did this year is that they added in a headphone jack, water and dust resistance, of beautiful displays for both. They're both at POLED. One of them is 4K, the other one's at 1080p. But that's great. And then they've also added in that water and dust resistance, as I said, a headphone jack. And, you know, even on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II, the flagship phone, it will actually be including, guess what, a 90Hz refresh rate sort of thing that they're having planned. So that's pretty amazing. And then there was the Galaxy Z Flip. The Galaxy Z Flip made a bunch of buzz because it was basically the Galaxy Fold 2. Actually, not really, because we're hearing that there's going to be another Galaxy Fold with a stylus and, like, hole punches so that we can have, like, more display and just a itty-bitty little dot to look at. Which, honestly, I'm not going to complain for. And it's honestly really interesting, the Galaxy Z Flip, because of a lot of reasons. It's like small and compact, it's super cool, and the screen is actually super more durable than last year's model. So thank you, Samsung, for working on that. So, I hate to say it, but that concludes Thursday Tech News. I hope you guys liked it. Comment down below. Tell me, did you guys like it? And would you guys like to see the Phone Angel instead of Gabriel the Phone Angel? Like, don't get me wrong. I like my name, and I like it to be used in that context of way of saying Gabriel the Phone Angel, but, I mean, it's just really long, so it's better if it's shorter so that people would remember it. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, listen to me talking about phones, and we'll see you next week on the next Thursday Tech News.